The Niger State Police Command has arrested the 32-year-old mother of two identified as Hassan Bella of Osaba for attempting to kidnap Umar Sak and Taku of Kwawu village in Katangoran local government area of the state. Hassan, who was arrested after a tip-off, joined the kidnapping business following a separation from her husband. She reportedly planned to kidnap Taku on February 19, 2020, but her prospective victim reported the incident to the police before the plan was perfected. Taku reportedly filed a complaint with the police after receiving threatening phone calls after asking him to pay a ransom of 5 million naira or risk being kidnapped. Confessing to the crime, the mother of two said after separating from her husband, she was introduced to kidnapping business to make ends meet. Regretting her action, the suspect said she's a disgrace to motherhood and also pleads for forgiveness. Meanwhile, the Niger State Police spokesman Mohammed Abubakar told newsmen that the suspect, who had already confessed to the crime, will be charged to court after conclusion of investigation. The Ogun State Police Command has dismissed the Special Anti-Robbery Squad officer involved in the killing of a footballer Taimu Kasim. Olaniyi Ogusore, Special Anti-Robbery Squad officer, was dismissed for the part he played in the death of Raymond Star assistant captain, who died on Saturday, February 22, 2020. According to a press release by the Raymond Star Football Club, Taimu was picked by the Sars officials on his way home after training with a colleague and accused of being an internet fraudster. A police statement initially claimed the footballer jumped out of a vehicle in an attempt to escape and was crushed by an oncoming vehicle. However, Sani Bubaka, a friend and teammate of Kasim, who was also arrested by the Sars officials, said the Sars official pushed Kasim out of the Toyota Sienna vehicle before he was killed by an oncoming vehicle. The officer responsible for pushing Taimu Kasim, popularly known as Kaka, has been dismissed from service. Earlier, the Deputy Inspector General of Police in charge of Criminal Investigation Department Force Headquarters, Ogunwoyin Peter, during a condolence visit to the deceased family, promised to ensure that the officer involved in the death of Kaka is made to face justice. Meanwhile, the Ogun State Governor Dapo Abiodun also visited the grieving family and promised to ensure justice is served. 5 persons, including a pharmacist, had been killed following a violent clash involving two cult groups in Gbokolo town, Okpoko local government area in Benue State. Reports gathered 4 of the victims were hacked to death on Monday night, while the pharmacist was killed in his shop by the suspected cultists on Tuesday afternoon. According to reports, the entire rural community where Benue Polytechnic is situated has been under siege for the past 3 days since rival cultists went berserk. Sources also revealed the street have been deserted while commercial activities have been grounded in the past 72 hours for fears of rampaging cultists, while residents of the bustling town have remained indoors. Chairman of the Okpoko local government area, Amina Adu, confirmed the incident to journalists in Makurdi, adding that the matter had been reported to the police and other security agencies in the state for further action. Confirming the incident, spokesman of the Benue State Police Command, Catherine Anne, said that 4 persons were killed on Monday night following a court clash, adding that the division of police officer in Ugbokolo have requested for more hands to tackle the disorderliness. The Supreme Court has dismissed the appeal filed by the All Progressive Congress for the review of the Bayelsa governorship election judgment, which sacked Governor David Lyon and his deputy senator Abirapo Diego Oremio. The court in its ruling said the appeal lacked merit and as a result struck out. Justice Amina Agu, who read the judgment, pointed out that the appeals court decision were final. The judge said the applicant failed to point out errors in the earlier judgment, insisting that the judgment is final for all ages, adding that no court can fault or reverse it. Record David Lyon and the All Progressive Congress in the application, argued by Afe Babalola and Wole Olanipekun, prayed the court to review and set aside the judgment of February 13th, which void their participation in the November 16 governorship election. However, after taking legal framework from parties in the matter, Justice Sylvester Nwaguta announced the stand down of the matter, adding that the panel will reconvene soon for its decision on the matter. Babalola had in his submission said that the Supreme Court has inherited decision and power set aside its own decision because the judgment, which voided the election of his client, was a nullity on account of denial of fair hearing of its client. According to him, the procedure adopted by the Apex Court on February 13 was wrong because there was no cause of action at the time the Supreme Court gave judgment against Lyon. Olanipekun on his part argued that the Apex Court erred in law when it invokes Section 36 of the Electoral Act to disqualify the All Progressive Congress participation in the election when the Federal High Court judgment restored by the Supreme Court did not qualify the party's eligibility. He further argued that the Supreme Court cannot give consequential order on a relief not granted by a trial court except due to human error. However, counsel to the People's Democratic Party, Tayo Oyetobi, informed the Apex Court that the application by the All Progressive Congress and its governorship candidate were a dangerous invitation to the Supreme Court to violate Section 285 of the 1999 Constitution for the court to sit on appeal over its own matter. Oyetibo argued that having delivered the final judgment in the matter on merit on February 13th, the court has no jurisdiction to sit on appeal in the judgment, adding that it is scandalous to ask the Apex Court to review its judgment. He further stated that the Apex Court was right in disqualifying Lyon as a governorship elect because Section 187 of the 1990 Constitution is clear and unambiguous to the effect that a governorship candidate who has no deputy governor is not qualified to contest any governorship election in Nigeria. Meanwhile, the Bayelsa State Governor Diri went into deep worship shortly after the news that the Supreme Court has upheld his election. Diri was in the Abuja home of his predecessor Saraki Dixon when the Apex Court ruled in his favor. They went on their knees to worship and praise God for the judgment.